What's happening? We got another message. I just wanted to say that with everything going on in the world, all the crime in each city and state, all the injustice that's playing out, you know, we shouldn't. We can no longer depend on. I mean, we can no longer depend on. We shouldn't be depending on the law enforcement, the police department, detectives to um, do the investigative work. Many times, we need to be doing investigative work for these cases because, see, let me tell you one thing that's going on. It's not everybody, but it's too many. A lot of these investigators, um, a lot of these investigators, private investigators, police officers, um, members of the law and judicial system. A lot of these people, it's not all, but it's a lot of them that have affiliations and ties to uh, organizations that are involved in organized crimes, and are have been benefiting off of it. So we can't depend on a lot of police officers. We can't depend on lawyers, judges, detectives, investigators, things of that nature all the time. We need to get into, you know, we need to get back into investigating things for ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Anybody can tell us anything, you know? A lot of these investigations are not right. Someone passes away, someone's unalived. A lot of time the investigation ain't right. It's tampered with. There's an agenda behind it. A lot of police officers and law enforcement and the people, members of the judicial system, are Masons. They're Eastern Stars. They're affiliates of secret societies that may or may not have a positive agenda. Like I said, it's not all, but in fact, many do not have a healthy agenda for their communities. They're just playing a role. They're just acting. There's a lot of actors out here. You know, so we got to get into the habit of doing a lot of this investigative work ourselves. We can no longer sit and depend on other people, places, and things outside of us to do things for us because there's too much corruption involved. There's too much corruption. If something happens to you, your family member, or a loved one, and law enforcement is involved, there's no guarantee that that case is going to be handled or investigated properly, or justly, or ethically. There's no guarantee, especially in today's day. There's no guarantee. There's a lot of foul play. There's a lot of manipulation. There's a lot of dark agendas. You know, many people these days who hold power, they're not using it. They're not using it in a good way. They're using it in a negative way. They're using that power to control people, to victimize people, to gain finances through unethical means and behavior. That's what they're doing with their power. We got to take our power back, start learning to be self sufficient, which we are, each one of us are capable of doing. We just got to come out of the system, come out of this matrix, come out of certain mindsets and behaviors and cycles. It's really all we got to do, you know? But we can't be dependent on anything outside of us anymore. It's time for us to be self sufficient. There's too much corruption going on. That's my message. Peace.